Greetings again, adventurers, and welcome back to what could very well be the final episode of my Let's Play of Final Fantasy II. In the last episode, we've delved further into the corridors of Pandemonium, both the castle and the realm, and we even slew two of Matthias's very own demon guardians, Astaroth and Beelzebub, otherwise known as Satan. Well, it's been a fun journey. It's been a long ride. And Furion, Maria, Guy and Leon have definitely come a long way since the beginnings of their ordeal, when they were but 4 youths fleeing from the town of Fynn, only to be pretty much near killed by none other than 4 of Palamecia's Dark Knights. But each of them has certainly come unto their own, for better or worse, for good or ill. And speaking of which, that is actually very fitting words, because there is only one path that lies before us at this point. We can either run away with our tails between our legs, or we can venture forth into the realm of absolute darkness. Into the realm where Matthias himself, in his unholy demonic incarnation, patiently waits for us. Only by vanquishing him can we bring salvation to the world once and for all, for everything that he has done. There is a very good chance that we could literally fail here, but fortunately I might be able to get back out. In fact, I can leave, thanks to the fact that I'm not trapped in the realm of Palamecia permanently, and with the amount of gil that I've currently accumulated, I might be able to stock up on a few more ethers. Unfortunately, ethers are not going to save me where Matthias is concerned, so without further ado, adventurers, let us step on this warp tile and face the Emperor once and for all. In this very dark, unholy realm, there is no going back. There literally is no going back from this point onwards. The only way is forward. In this seemingly never-ending abyss, and of course we would still be fighting enemies in this particular realm, because of course we would. One moment. And that takes care of that nuisance. There we go. Now where were we? Ah yes. Emperor Matthias, standing alone in this void of nothingness, with nothing but stars surrounding him, at the very heart of his domain here at Pandemonium. For all the reckoning that you have brought upon us, it is time for us to repay that reckoning in kind. Let us do battle, once and for all. And by the way, he's not kidding. This is literally going to be the fight of our very lives, as we do battle once and for all, with Matthias, formerly of Palamecia, and now of Pandemonium. And his visage is truly terrifying to behold. But as Iago Servitor once said, on the planet Istvan V, death to the false Emperor. And that is exactly what we intend for Emperor Matthias. Now Matthias, in his current incarnation, is pretty much the toughest enemy that we will ever face. And I do mean ever face. But there is a way around him, and that involves the use of the blood swords, which we are desperately going to use. Oh man. Berserk will also be exceptionally useful at this point. I don't want to use Leon's Blood Sword right about now, although I probably should. Yeah, 58 damage is not a lot. Oh my word. Oh my word. That didn't do anything at all. Oh my word. This, I am, keeping my fingers crossed at this. This is pretty much going to be the toughest fight of our very lives. That did some damage. Oh, and Maria is cursed. Oh, that's very unfortunate, but at least we got that off. Oh my word. Time for a flare. And I think, Leon, that blood sword might be useful after all. Hopefully. Okay, that didn't work. That blind definitely didn't work. Oh. That 300 damage that once, seemed so powerful is, not doing us any favors. Berserk on Furion. Leon, switch back to the Sunblade. You might actually be able to do some damage. Oh my word. Oh my word. Yeah, that was Meteor. That is a spell that only Mattias has at this point. We do not have that spell, nor will we ever get that spell. Yeah, he has the ability to rain meteors down upon our very heads in this domain of darkness. Oh, and that is not doing anything. Time for a flare. Flare of our very own. And hope that this works, because Mattias definitely has quite a few tricks up his sleeve. We're actually holding off on our own. And actually, I failed to cast Ultima against them in our original encounter. I will ultimately rectify that, and you are not doing anything there. I'll only use it once. I wonder if Berserk is actually going to be useful on you at this point. Oh, and we beat him! Oh, yes! Guy with the finishing blow. I am actually amazed that we actually managed to pull that off without any trouble. Well, without much trouble. Yes, indeed. You were beaten in life, you were beaten in death, and you are now beaten in undeath. And this time, there is nowhere for your essence to go, Emperor Mattias. Your plans have ultimately been foiled, here and now, for all eternity. And for that, I say, good riddance to thee, good sir. And with that, with a final scream, he vanishes. And with his demise, Pandemonium is starting to dissipate as well. So let's get the hell out of Dodge. And just like that, we've made it all the way back to Fynn Castle. Hilda and Gordon, Paul, and Layla, and the others as well. Victory, at long last, is ours. We did it! Congratulations are indeed in order. Emperor Mattias of Palamecia and Pandemonium has been defeated by Furion, Maria, Guy, and of course, Leon. Yes, even Paul cannot fail to be impressed by the fact that we vanquished the sovereign monarch of Palamecia and Pandemonium, and live to tell the tale. I'm surprised we lived to tell the tale. I literally thought that we would absolutely be destroyed in that final encounter. But it seems that fortune has smiled upon us. And Layla is trying to recruit us into being a pirate. We'll might think about that offer. We'll definitely consider it. Yes, of course, Nellie, the daughter of Joseph. It has been too long since we last saw you. And he would be proud, and did Joseph just materialize out of thin air by magic? No, that was just was that a ghost? A vision? Who can truly say? But with Matthias defeated, both Palamecia and Pandemonium lie in ruins. And it is up to Hilda, the Wild Rose Rebellion, and the people of Fen to rebuild the world. And so off they go. Yes, indeed, after so much trial and tribulation, it does seem that everything is finally over. And it means that everyone can live together in harmony, as they did before this travesty occurred. But one person does not seem eager to share in the festivities, and for good reason. Despite the fact that he aided us in the end, Leon did kind of turn against us by becoming the Dark Knight and the pseudo-Emperor of Palamecia. And it seems that Leon is still bitter about that, about the fact that he betrayed his friends and his sister for the sake of absolute power. But Maria does still have forgiveness in her heart. And yet Furion is right, we cannot stop Leon. His destiny is entirely his own. But sooner or later, we will mend those wounds. One day. And there are the spirits of the deceased. Gordon, Minwu, Ricard, and Joseph. Leaving just us three to move forward in this brand new world. And so the era of war came to an end. In time, the long and hard days would be forgotten, but people would always remember the children who saved the world. To the souls of the four, their friendship will never be forgotten. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes my Let's Play of Final Fantasy II, the second chapter in the NES era of Final Fantasy. And I apologize that it took me this long to actually complete it. Then again, being the fact that this is the first time that I've delved into Final Fantasy II or any classic Final Fantasy games, yeah, it's definitely been a fun journey. This will make this the second Final Fantasy, classic Final Fantasy that I have now finished. And we have a globe showing the portraits of all the characters who we have witnessed in this particular adventure. Now, I have mixed feelings about Final Fantasy II. On the one hand, it was definitely an improvement over the original Final Fantasy, especially in terms of storytelling. While the graphics look pretty much essentially the same, it doesn't feel like the previous Final Fantasy, and that's what gave it a bit of an edge. And in terms of character skill proficiencies and weapons proficiencies and so on, that was a good role-playing aspect of Final Fantasy II that did kind of make the game feel organic. If there is a downside, however, it is the spell leveling, and is Nobuo Uematsu, the musical composer, as always. Yeah, the spell leveling of Final Fantasy II was really the grind that sort of slowed absolutely everything down. Although, as you just witnessed, if you've been following me in this Let's Play adventure, you don't need to max out everything in order to win, in order to finish the adventure. The music is fantastic, the graphics, especially for 1988, spectacular, to say the least. And I am actually tempted to say that this might actually be my favorite Final Fantasy of the NES era. And there is Hironobu Sakaguchi, the director, father, and creator of Final Fantasy. But our adventure is not over yet. That was only the second chapter on the road to Final Fantasy VII. So stay tuned, adventurers, for my eventual Let's Play of Final Fantasy III, the final chapter in the NES saga of Final Fantasy. Ah yes, the end. The end of Final Fantasy II, and the end of this Let's Play series thus far. So when we return, adventurers, I shall hopefully have started the first opening act of Final Fantasy III. As always, I have been your host, the Dungeon Master, and I hope as ever, until next we meet, fare thee well.